buy me here today. I don't really know how much to I don't really. I'm gonna have to have a talk. I think I'm gonna set it on the stand. Trying to play this while I wait. Now, how do they play that? How do you play that? Oh, hey, elevator crazy. Alright, now I got someone. This is just something I want to do while I wait. Let me put this thing down. Alright. Hey, Samuel Schneider. Elevator crazy's on here. I'm doing good. Oh, cool. I'll watch them later. All right, so I just want to talk about something I have coming up. Oh, that's cute. You rode your what? Oh, I see. I guess. Well, anyways, um, so I do also have an extra plan next year. Both of those trips are going to be Hampton Inn hotels. Oh, Hampton Inn, I'd like to share something like that. The first Hampton Inn I stayed in was the first Hampton Inn I stayed in was in Washington D.C. A freight elevator. Gosh, I've never been on a freight elevator. I really want to ride one, but Freight elevators are almost hard to gain access to. Yeah, it's hard to gain access to a freight elevator. So, here's what my extra plan is. I'm gonna be going to California, and here's why I did it. I decided that it's a very important place that I need to go to because I was born there and I have not been up there since I moved. Well, actually, no, like a year after I moved, I traveled up there, and that was the only time I went up there after I moved. So yeah, now I got 2 trips. Yeah, I really want to ride on a freight elevator. I really do want to. Oh, kind of heard thunder. I hope that isn't thunder. Um, so I really have never seen a freight elevator. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get any freight elevators on this channel because freight elevators are very hard to gain access to. It's a very hard thing. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Yeah, that guitar you saw me holding earlier, that is an Epiphone. It's an Epiphone. It's got a very cool. It's got a very cool design on it. Hold on, let me turn on the light so you can see better. Let me show you it. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, see, it looks like this. You can see the name right here. It's an Epiphone. I also do have a Fender. I also have a Fender right over here. I also have an electric one over here. You can see the name right there. See, in cursive it says Fender right there. It says Fender. Then I also have an electric one. Yeah, it's not plugged in. I don't have the amp with me right now. Anyways, let's get back on. I think I like it over here without the lights on. Yeah, all right. Kind of want to save some electricity. Yeah, I do still have some light coming through the window. Okay, so let's get back onto this. So what I'll be doing, let me talk about something I'll be doing locally. So, I want to take a ride around, and there's that train that I showed you, and like a few weeks ago, I did a live stream riding on the DART train over here in Dallas, Texas, and it was a very good one. I was going to film some elevators in downtown, but my camera did not have enough batteries, so yeah, I didn't want to lose batteries. Oh man, was that thunder? It is cloudy over here. Well, anyways, so, yeah, so, what I was trying to do is that I was trying to film the incline elevator at the City Place station. It's got an incline elevator. It's a Montgomery. And OPM 1961 says that there's an Otis elevator around there. I don't really know where it is. I really wish I could go inside the City Place Tower and film in there, but like it's key carded off. Yeah, like it's key carded off, so I'm not going to be able to go there on the weekends, and going out on the weekdays is gonna be hard at this time because I have school going on, but maybe during the holidays and definitely when summer comes, I'll be able to do videos like that. But office buildings are almost hard places to film because it can be high security. There could be some, because That's the most common place where it's hard to film. So, um, I don't even know if maybe I can. Yeah, I don't think anybody's filmed with City Place Tower. Oh, yeah. Besides the City Place station where I want to film, I also want to film in that Sheraton. It's a very tall Sheraton hotel. I have not the highest level I've stayed at on a hotel was 12. I have not stayed in any hotels more than 12 stories. That was at the Hampton Inn in Washington D.C. and that was the only highest level I stayed on over 10. And there are two hotels that I've been to that has Otis Series 1s. There's the Caribe Royal Hotel in Orlando, Florida, and the, um and the Hampton Inn in Pensacola Beach, Florida. And on that trip, I stayed at two Hampton Inns. I stayed at one near Pensacola Beach. That one had an Otis Series 1, like I said. And the other one I stayed in, that one had a Schindler HT with vandal-resistant fixtures. And on my upcoming trips next summer, I am planning on staying at Hampton Inn. I'm kind of expecting like a ThyssenKrupp because I really like ThyssenKrupp elevators, but there's lots of expectations. There's lots of different brands to expect. I also do expect it to be a Schindler HT. Um, I don't know which one I'm staying in yet. It may be a new one or an old one. And I'm okay if it's like a new one or an old one. So yeah, I'm okay if the Hampton Inn with it, if whether it's an old or a new one. Yeah. My second favorite part of the hotel is the ice machine. Me too. I do like them. There's lots of elevator brands that I like. There's lots of elevator brands. I also do expect an Otis Series 1 if it's an older Hampton. Because when it's a newer Hampton, there's definitely would not be a Otis Series 1 because Otis Series 1 discontinued in 2005. OPM said that. He said that Otis Series 1 discontinued in 2005, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find an Otis Series 1 in a newer Hampton. If it's a new one, I would also expect to find a Schindler 3100, and that's another one that I would expect. ThyssenKrupp, yeah, me too. ThyssenKrupp is actually my first favorite. Yeah, and the ice machine and the ice and vending room is like my second favorite part of the hotel. But the number one favorite is definitely the elevators. And I'm expecting my hotel to have like a ThyssenKrupp or an Impulse. I have not been on an Impulse elevator in a long, long time. And I can't even remember the last time I've been on a Dover Impulse elevator. My dad's work did have an Dover Impulse scenic elevator. It was a 6-story building. That was one of my dad's former jobs. And now my mom works in a very tall building, and I definitely want to film in there. My mom will someday let me come to her place because I did go to my mom. I did go there before, but I'm expecting it to be like an Otis. Oh, cool. There are 3 ThyssenKrupp elevators in my high school. Um, so, and I did do like a live elevator ride here before. That was at an apartment building in Flower Mound. Those were all Schindlers. Those are all Schindler HTs. That's one of the elevators I'm expecting to do and to have in the hotel in the upcoming trip that's coming up in 2019 in the summer. I got 2 of them. So, I'm definitely going to film in the hospital I was born in. That's very cool. Yeah, I wanted to add the California trip because I want to be able to at least take a visit to my birthplace because I was born in California. I used to live in California. Now I live in Texas. And I've never been to Ohio. Um, there's Columbus, Ohio, and Cleveland. Those are the major cities in Ohio. Columbus and Cleveland are the major cities in Ohio. Cleveland Hopkins Airport. I think that was Columbus where I saw the elevator video. That was John Glenn Columbus International Airport in Columbus, Ohio. Um, so, um, I've actually stayed at let's see, the first Hampton Inn, like I said, was in Washington, D.C. The second one was in Lafayette, Louisiana. And the third one was at Pensacola, Florida. The third and fourth one, those I've stayed at 4 Hampton Inn hotels. And I stayed at, let's see, 4 Embassy Suites hotels. The first one I stayed at was in Austin. The second one I stayed at was in Boston, Massachusetts. And the third one I stayed at was in New York City. And the fourth one was in Rogers, Arkansas. So the one I stayed at in Austin, that one had Dover. The one in Boston, I can't remember. And one in New York, I don't remember completely, but I think it's a Schindler. I'm kind of guessing it was a Schindler. And the fourth one I stayed at, those were Otis's. Otis Scenic Elevators. And the one in Boston was the only one I stayed at that did not have scenic elevators. It was just like a regular hotel. It did not have an atrium. It did not have glass elevators. It was just like a regular hotel. Yeah, that's the only Embassy Suites I've been to that was like a regular hotel. I stayed on the 5th floor that time. I do remember most of the hotels, like the floors I stayed on. Um, Hold on. Let me, just a second. Let me try using the lamp. How does it look now? Can you see me? I turn on the lamp. Here, I just want to make sure. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think using a lamp is better than using that light. Um, let's continue. So, so like I said, the places I want to film at in the future, I want to film elevators around downtown Dallas. And I also do want to film the ones in the Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital that's just only 3 minutes away from me, if I'm right. I'll have to look at the map. I think it's only like 3 minutes away. Now, what's another place I want to film it in Dallas? The Dallas Museum of Art is kind of a little harder. You know? The only Schindler HT I remember being on was at the... Can't seem to remember what that place was, but that was the only Schindler MT I can remember. And, yeah, the Otis elevators at the Embassy Suites, those were Otis Series 2, I think. And I've only been to 2 hotels that have Otis Series 1s. What is something I should say? What place do you remember where there was a Otis Series 1? Like, what's the most recent Otis Series 1 you've been on? Have you been on an Otis Series 1? I remember I think at that church over in Denton, I think that's Otis Series 1. It was either that or a Vector. Oh, speaking of Vectors, like, the only place I've been on a Vector was the Vista Ridge Mall. And that's the only Vector I've been on. There's a Vector inside. There's a Vector at JCPenney, Macy's, and Dillard's. And Sears is now closed. Yeah, that's my childhood store. I'm gonna miss going there. And there are two glass elevators. There's two glass elevators near the food court, and there's another one. All elevators in the Vista Ridge Mall, they're all Montgomery's. But I don't know what's gonna happen to that Sears place now. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen to that Sears, because so many of them have been closing, and I don't even know why. Like, I've been wondering, are they bankrupt or something? I don't know why. Yeah, so Vectors are the rarest elevators. Oh, cool. There was an Otis, I said this already, but there was an Otis Series 1 at the Hampton Inn I stayed at in Pensacola. That was in Pensacola. There were two Otis Series 1s. And I did not get a beach view room, but that would be cool though. It would be very cool if I got a beach view room. And the other Hampton Inn I stayed in, that was those were Schindler HTs with the vandal resistant fixtures. I really enjoy the Hampton Inn hotels. I've never stayed in any hotels that are by Marriott, but I think both of my trips are going to be Hampton Inn hotels. So mostly the hotels I'll be staying in when I go on my future trips will be a Hampton Inn or an Embassy Suites, while some of them can be hotels by Marriott. Yeah, I have. Oh, I didn't know he was streaming, but I'm glad you came here. So, I was talking about like some of the things that I was planning for that I want to do in 2019 here on this channel. Welcome to the stream, GTS Elevators. So, I want to talk. Let's do what I was talking about earlier. The hotel I stayed at in Pensacola, Florida, that one had Otis Series 1s, the one by Pensacola Beach, and then I stayed at another one that had two Schindler HT elevators. MT is okay to me. The Embassy Suites, the one I wish that I could stay at in San Francisco. I would wish to stay at one over in San Rafael, but there's no BART train near it, and I think it takes up less time if I just take one transportation system at a time. Like, there's the BART, but over here it's called the DART. Yeah, rhymes. Yeah, that is a real train system we have here. You weren't, I don't think you were on there that time, but Elevator Crazy was on. that stream. I did a live stream taking a ride on the Dart. I still have it on here. OPM tuned into that one. It'd be cool if he was on here right now, but that'd be nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get off of here. But I still want to be able to talk. I still haven't talked about everything yet. Um, I did try to film stuff over in downtown Dallas, but I couldn't because I couldn't because like my camera battery was too low, and I didn't have enough batteries. I don't know how to use Google Hangouts yet. I'm still learning how. One day I will learn how to, and then I'll be able to do it. Um, I go to church every Christmas, and the church had like that I went to. That one had those. There were like majority of impulses there. There are loads of impulse elevators in that church. I'm only gonna film in one part of the church because I don't want to get busted. Uber. My dad used to be an Uber driver. Um, yeah, Uber is kind of like a modern taxi. I've only the only time I took Uber was in Boston, Massachusetts. That's the only time I took Uber. It's it's so cloudy over here right now. Yeah, not in my area. There's no rain in my area. Just dark clouds. I can't believe it. I didn't expect it to get this cloudy because like there was a lot of there was we I still had a lot of sunlight in my area this morning before I left for school. Um, I think I have said this before, but my high school has 3 ThyssenKrupp elevators. My middle school had 1 ThyssenKrupp elevator. Yeah, next year I'm gonna be filming elevators in California. I got 2 trips coming up. I'm gonna go to California and I'm gonna go to Minnesota. Uh, GTS. Um, um, I wanna, I wanna. Oh. So like, I want to film at the Sheraton over in downtown. Also do. Oh, speaking of filming downtown, another place that I want to film at is the Scottish Rite Children's Hospital. Um, those are Baxter and Sons, but they're quite similar to Schindler. It's quite similar to a Schindler. Wiley. I'm in Flower Mound. The closest elevator is a Schindler HT. Ah, stepped on something. The last Otis Series 1 I was on was at the Hampton Inn in Pensacola, Florida. I've also been on one in Orlando at the Caribe Royal Hotel. It's just a few miles away from Disneyland. Sorry, World. That was Florida. Orlando, Florida. Sorry, Disney World. I don't think I've been to Disneyland. I have actually been to Anaheim, but I did not go to Disneyland. There's lots of places I want to go. Now what's something? There's like hotels over in Louisville that I've passed by countless times. Okay, see ya. Well, I hope I can see you again in another stream soon. I don't think OPM's gonna tune in. Okay, I'm gonna check Andrew's stream.